Are they really that important? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to stop caring what people think. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Damien Alvarez. I am on a self-development journey. I share my findings with you here, so hopefully you can pick up a thing or two and also improve your life. Now, before we begin, I want to wish you a happy Easter. It is March 31st today, so if you're celebrating, happy Easter. But today we're going to be talking about the fear of judgment and how to stop caring about what people think. So the fear of judgment, a super scary topic for most people to talk about. I myself have also fallen victim to this weak mentality of caring what people think, putting people's opinions above my dreams and aspirations, and ultimately letting people dictate the way that my life is ran. Which, when thought about from a logical point of view, it makes absolutely zero sense that people's opinions weigh that heavily on our decisions, but it happens to everybody. Everyone falls victim to it at some point. Now, in my opinion, I think this is because we are evolutionarily designed to be liked by our peers to increase our chances of survival within the environment that we're in. So, over time, we have learned as human beings that we have to be liked by the crowd in order to have our best chance at survival. Now, over time, this obviously faded out. We don't really need to be liked by our peers in order to live a long and healthy life, but I think that's just the way that we're wired as human beings, and we have to actively try to fight against that in today's day and age. The problem with that in today's day and age is that when you care about what other people think and you put their opinions and judgments above your dreams and aspirations, it only leads to you being extremely complacent as to where you are now in life. You have no room for growth. There's nothing you can do to really break out of the current situation that you're in because you're never willing to get yourself uncomfortable. We all know the common saying, you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, but when you care about what other people think to a degree where they control your actions and you only do what other people like to see, then you're not setting yourself up to be uncomfortable at any point in your life. Now, I can talk about this from a place of firsthand experience, right? So I started making these videos about a month ago and I started posting on my Instagram about a month ago. And at the beginning, the engagement on my posts on my Instagram in specific was pitiful. Right, I was getting barely any likes, barely any comments. People weren't really interacting with my stuff as they usually do. And I was also getting some pretty snide DMs from people talking about, who do you think you are? You think you're some philosopher? This will never pan out. What are you doing? Stuff like that. So from a first-hand experience, the fear of judgment was real for me, and it was there. And I definitely got to experience the brute force of it. And it was definitely nerve-wracking the first time I ever tried to make a post on Instagram. Right, I have a following of about 1,200 people there. Nothing from this whole social media stuff, but all of them are personal friends and family. And putting yourself out there like that is definitely scary. But once you get the first one out there, the second, third, fourth, and fifth ones always come easier than the first. I just kind of sat there one day and I was thinking about how I was so scared to post about this stuff on my personal Instagram. And then I was like, what mindset do you have to be in to be scared of what the words on your screen say? Or like, how big of a pussy are you that you don't even want to post the stuff that you're working hard on to your audience, to your friends and family, to kind of show off the work that you're doing? It just makes no sense, and I definitely see where you're coming from if you're in that situation right now. Nowadays, even a month after my first post, I post every single week now, no matter what the engagement is, no matter what the comments are, no matter what DMs I get. I've just made it a habit and a constant in my life that I post every single week, bar none. Now, if you were anything like me before you started this whole online journey, chances are you're absolutely frozen by the idea of judgment. It's common across human beings. We want to be liked and accepted by our peers, but you constantly ask yourself, what will they think? What will they say? I'm too scared to post this. Like, what if the judgment is too harsh? And I can tell you firsthand that people will talk shit about what you're doing. When I first started posting a lot on Twitter, that was my main kind of idea generation platform where I would tweet 3-4 times a day, repost all my tweets, repost a lot of different stuff, and I was super active on Twitter. Whenever I saw people in person, they would always talk about what I was doing on Twitter, how it was annoying, how I was the only one on their feed and stuff like that. So I definitely get that it's pretty scary and pretty terrifying to start putting yourself out there online, but it is a requirement nowadays if you want to build an online business. So you have to kind of weigh out your options there. What's more important to you? Is the success of your online business more important, or is the judgment of others more important? And that will kind of dictate the route that you're taking in life. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that the success and the things you get from growing your online business drastically outweighs the face you save from not posting and not doing things online. But there's also pros about people talking shit about you. The first thing is that it puts your name in people's mouths, right? When they're talking about your posts, when they're talking about how annoying you are on Twitter, or how you're trying to be a philosopher on Instagram, it only pushes more traffic to those things. We all know the phrase, no PR is bad PR, and which kind of plays out here, right? The more people that know about your stuff and the more people that talk about you and what you're doing, the more traffic ultimately goes to that source. The second thing, and arguably more important, it shows you exactly from the jump who is and who isn't on your team. If you have friends from a long time ago that are constantly reposting your stuff, constantly sliding up and liking your stories and telling you, how proud they are of you and how good your content is, it motivates you to go further and you know that they're on your team. Now, if you have seemingly friends that don't slide up on your stuff, don't repost your stories, show you no support on your stuff, or talk negatively about what you're doing, then you know exactly who is on the opposite team and who you should drop out of your life. Ultimately, when you care too much about what people are thinking and what people are saying about you online, the only person that you're handicapping in that situation is you. That person that's talking about you has just as complicated a life as you have. They have a whole plethora of problems that they're trying to solve on their own, probably more than you if they're talking shit about what you're doing online. And the only person that you're handicapping is you. The only person who's suffering from that is you. You need to get over the fear of judgment. You need to stop caring what people think to the extent where it stops you from doing what you want to do, because you have a plan. You know where you want to go in life. You know what you want to do and how you're going to get there. And if you don't pursue that and you don't go on that path because of what people from a long time ago or people on your social media are going to say about you, then you will ultimately never get there and you're only handicapping yourself. These people may talk about you. They may screenshot your stuff and put it in a group chat or make snide comments slide up even if they're bold. But that's pretty much where it ends for them. They have things they're trying to do as well. They have problems every single day that they have to face. And I promise you are not on their mind for more than the 20 seconds that they look at and slide up on your story. Also, throwing away all your dreams and aspirations and not following the path you know you're supposed to be on just because this couple people are going to be talking about you and saying some rude stuff about you, then maybe you don't deserve the success that you want. Right? We all know that it's a part of the journey. It's a part of the path to encounter difficulties and people that are not going to be supportive of what you're doing. So if you know that and you stop at the first sign of that, then maybe you just don't deserve to be there. Just post the content. Just do the thing. Just make the blog, make the video, release the thing, make the TikTok, do what you have to do to get to where you want to go. Right? The hardest part about it is posting the first one. Once you get over the first one, the second one will come a little easier. The third will come a little easier than that. And the fourth and so on will be much easier than the first one, right? The biggest hurdle, the biggest jump you have to make is just doing that first thing, just releasing the first piece of content. After that, it gets a lot easier, I promise. So now I have 3 tips for you to stop caring what people think in your life, right? So the first one I have for you is you have to realize that you're the main character, right? I learned this early on in my life from my dad. He would always tell me that you have to be the most important character in your life. You have to do everything in your power to make sure that you are the most successful person you can be, no matter what's going on with anything, even family or friends or anything in your life. You have to put yourself at the very center of your life. If you don't put yourself at the very center of your life, you constantly find yourself running around trying to please other people and making their lives better when ultimately they are only worried about themselves as well, right? So realizing that you're the main character and that you are the main driving force for your success will put you in a place where you can achieve the things you want to achieve, right? No one's going to get up and try to improve your life day after day. No one's going to, get that job for you. No one's going to achieve the success for you. You have to do those things because you want to do it. And realizing that you're the main character of your own life is the only way that you're going to be able to do that. The second thing I have for you is you need to stick to your convictions. Now, what do I really mean by that? So what I mean by sticking to your convictions is you know the path that you have to be on. You've thought thoroughly about where you want to be in life. You have a plan for your future. Hopefully, if you don't, you should probably develop one. But you know the steps you have to take in order to get to where you want to be. If you're going to let judgment or if you're going to let people stand in the way of that, then like I said earlier, maybe you just don't deserve it. You clearly don't want it enough if that's going to stop you and deter you from doing what you have to do. You know that step 1 is this, right? You know that step 1 is outreach. You know that step 2 is sales call. You know that step three is clients and service delivery. If you're going to let other people's judgment of you deter you from even doing step 1, let alone step 2 and 3, then you already know that you're bound to fail. I promise there's going to be other problems that you face when trying to do step 1 that don't involve other people's judgment. So if you can't even get over the fact that people are going to be judging you and talking shit about what you're doing, then you are in for a world of hurt within your online business. Chances are the people that are hating on you or the people that are talking shit about you are just insecure about the fact that they want to do something better with their life, but they are also afraid of the judgment of other people. It's a very vicious cycle where they think that projecting their insecurities on you will make them feel better, but ultimately they're being just as complacent as you are if you don't ever start. So the main tip I have for you here, stick to your plan, stick to your convictions, know what you have to do, and just go do it no matter what people will say about it. And the third and final thing I have for you is that you need to realize it's a positive thing. right? We all know this saying, like I said earlier, no PR is bad PR, but you will find out pretty quickly who is on your side and who isn't when you start doing things out of the ordinary, right? There's going to be a lot of people that come around you who don't really support you, but there's also going to be a lot of people from, your past that you wouldn't even realize that are there to support you. I've witnessed this firsthand. People that I haven't talked to in years are reaching out to me on Instagram when I'm posting these things because they're getting some value out of it. Right, those are people that I know I want to surround myself with. The people that are supporting me even when I'm very early in my journey. And, the people that are not supporting me, or the people that are sending me some rude DMs and talking shit about me and sending pictures in the group chat and stuff like that, which I really don't care about. Those are people who I want to avoid at all costs as early as I can. Right? If they're not going to be with you at the beginning when you are nothing and when you're just trying to make something of yourself, then chances are they probably won't be a very good person to hang out with at the top. The last thing I want to leave you with, a little bonus tip here, I guess, or a little bonus idea, is that for as long as you care what irrelevant people in your life think about you, you will make zero growth in anything you are trying to do. Bottom line, whether it's making content, whether it's writing blogs, making videos, or streaming, whatever you're trying to do, if you care what the people in your life think about you in a non-constructive way, just hate for no reason, then you will make zero growth in whatever you're trying to attain. I can guarantee you that, right? For a long time, I was really scared of the judgment. I posted a video back in November, didn't really follow through on it, got some negative feedback on that and just kind of backed away from it. But earlier this year, or I guess earlier this month, I decided to just go full-fledged into it, post once a week, no matter what happens, and I've only seen a good support out of it. So if success means that much to you, you need to take the steps required to get to the destination. Right? And I promise you won't get there without at least one person trying to bring you down, or not wishing the best for you. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. Hopefully you can use some of these tips to stop caring what people think about you in whatever context that means to you, or hopefully you can start posting online or doing whatever you have to do without the fear of judgment. So if you like that, I wrote a full article on this. I'll post that as the first link in the description. But follow me across all socials at Damien Alvarez, and I will talk to you guys next week.